thought I was,
Well, we're so used to coming here for earlier.
yeah, I was like,
I'm a little scared about having my third
I kept
meeting.
looking at the
promised during
agenda
my
thinking,
campaign
did
that
I forget?
all right. Would like to call our meeting to order. Ms. Barber, you may call the roll.
Mr. Bracken?
Here.
Ms. Franklin?
Here.
Ms. French? Here. Ms. Ornelas?
Here.
Mr. Snavely?
Here.
Mr. Vinch?
Here.
Mayor Smith?
Here. All right, we will now do the Pledge of Allegiance if you'd like to join us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, may I have a motion to amend the agenda, please?
So moved.
In what way?
Oh. How about this? Let's go for a motion to approve the agenda.
That's better.
All right,
I move that we approve the agenda.
all right.
I second.
Second by Vice Mayor French. And now I would like to hear a motion to amend the agenda.
In what way?
I got it.
She's got it.
I move to amend the agenda to replace pages 50 and 84 in the council packet with the paper copies in hand.
Second?
Second.
Second by Counselor Snavely. All in favor of the amendment, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, your agenda is amended. We will now move on to public participation.
You need a
Oh, do we
a
need to do
vote
it?
on the
Oh,
whole motion.
okay. Let's do a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
So moved.
Second.
All right, moved by Vice Mayor French, second by Counselor Snavely. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, now we have an approved agenda. And we will move on to public participation. And we will start with public comments. So anyone wishing to address council about items not on the agenda or on the consent agenda, please come forward at this time and state your name and address for the record.
Ian Fuhrer, I live on Dana Drive in Southern Knolls. I'm speaking tonight as a member of the board of the local nonprofit Oxford Area Solutions for Housing. And I want to draw attention to an upcoming event that was included in, excuse me, yesterday's email from the city, the email that shares city council and administrative updates. So thank you for including this event in that. The June 15th meeting of OSH, as always, is open to the public. In this month, it's going to be a 2-hour training on housing rights provided by Home Cincinnati. HOME is an acronym for Housing Opportunities Made Equal. We'll be meeting from 5 to 7 p.m. in the Oxford Presbyterian Church Seminary building at 104 East Church Street. And we always begin with La Rosa's Pizza and salad, share a few general announcements, and then we'll be having a 90-minute training program. And I want to thank Jessica for really taking the initiative and planning that. I wanted to issue an invitation. I think everyone could benefit from learning more about fair housing laws and protections, understanding rights as a tenant or as a property owner or manager, recognizing housing discrimination and getting direct support. But I also want to highlight that this training is enabled by support, and you'll notice at the bottom of the flyer, there are 4 co-sponsors. The training is enabled by support from a grant the city received from Interact for Health. The grant provides resources for eviction diversion. OSH advocates for resources to meet the needs of people who are unhoused in our community, and that can happen through emergency shelter, increased affordable housing stock, permanent supportive housing, or other influences on market conditions. But it can also happen if evictions are prevented. And in order for that to happen, there needs to be partnering among funders like Interact for Health, the city, service providers like TOPS, which is one of the co-sponsors, educators from groups like Home Cincy, and advocacy groups like OSH. And this is just one piece of the whole picture of what's needed in order to prevent eviction and homelessness. So I very much want to thank the city for your support of these kinds of partnerships as well as this specific initiative. You're going to be hearing more in the next few weeks. Requests for continued partnering coming from the Housing Advisory Commission as council and staff soon begin or continue the process of linking goals for 2027, including the priority of housing for all, to budgeting of city funds and staff resources. So more to come, but until then, please join us at the training on the 15th.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Deb Wells. I'm a social worker. My address is actually Bellbrook, Ohio. However, I work in Butler County, and I am very happy to be here tonight to read a statement that was issued by OSH regarding the need to continue to support the unsheltered and very low income residents. So I'll just read their statement. Oxford Area Solutions for Housing, OSH, is a nonprofit advocacy group. We envision the Oxford area as a loving, compassionate, accepting community where no one wants for safe, secure housing. Our mission is to respond to and prevent homelessness in the Oxford area. We've been meeting monthly for nearly 3 years to discuss and advocate for low-income housing in Oxford. On April 13th, the monthly OSH meeting was an open community forum on low and very low income housing needs in Oxford. Approximately 40 people engaged in a group prioritization and consensus building process where participants were asked to select the top 3 most critical needs for Oxford's low and very low income housing. The results of this hour-long process identified the following priorities for Oxford. They're presented here as an official recommendation from OSH to the Housing Advisory Commission. The first one is emergency shelter, which is 24/7, 365 days, with social services offered, including transportation and provision for individuals as well as families. The second is permanent supportive housing, and the third is transitional housing. This is based on experience with the Oxford Winter House and engaging with the unsheltered and low-income population in Oxford. I appreciate the opportunity to present this statement and would like to commend the City of Oxford for its political will and openness to hearing about this issue and being a partner with the community. I work across the county and don't have a similar experience in many other areas, so I would just like to say, you know, for me, it's very hopeful and inspiring to know that the city is on board with and in support of helping this population, so I appreciate that very much. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Not seeing anyone else, I will move on to the consent agenda. May I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second?
Moved by Vice Mayor French, second by Councilor Ornelas. Any items to be removed? All right, hearing none. All those in favor of the consent agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, the consent agenda is moving forward. We will go down to resolutions. Ms. Barber, you may read the first resolution whenever you're ready.
A resolution accepting the bid and authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with Building Crafts Incorporated for the construction of a new water treatment facility for water softening at a cost of $23,632,340 with a contingency in the amount of $1,167,660 for a total cost not to exceed $24,800,000.
Motion to adopt.
So moved.
Second?
Moved by Vice Mayor French, second by Councilor Ornelas. And we'll go to Mr. Dreisbach.
Thank you, Your Honor, members of council. First of all, thank you for substituting our agenda item tonight. Because of delays from the EPA in getting our permit to install, we did not open these bids until Friday. So we do not like doing substitutions at the last minute, but it's critical we stay on this path and get our financing from the EPA this fiscal year. So we are on a tight timeline, and appreciate you accommodating that. On a typical day, we'll produce about 2.5 million gallons of water. Sometimes in the summer, we go over 3 million per day. And it's very rare that we get a complaint about water quality. But when we do, it's almost always about the hardness of the water. So, a long time ago, in 2019, City Council authorized staff to have an RFP for a consulting engineer to study this problem and offer alternatives and to find a solution for the hard water in Oxford. So we did that. In 2020, we selected Strand and Associates to help guide us through the process. We evaluated several technologies. We had a work session at the last council meeting, and we reviewed the technologies that were evaluated. We studied regionalization with surrounding utilities to see if that made sense. But ultimately, it's in our best interest to run our own water system and to move forward with building a softening plant that meets our needs. In 2024, Strand submitted detailed plans of the entire project to the EPA for review. The fee for the application for that was $20,000. And here we are over about a year and a half later before we get approval. The design's approved. We went out to bid, and Mr. Matt Smith from Strand and Associates is here. So I'll turn it over to Matt, and he can let you know how we did with our bids.
Hi, I'm Matt Smith with Strand Associates. I was here about 2 weeks ago. Now I'm back. So before we had talked about, Mike, do you have the presentation you want? Oh, there it is. Okay. Last time I was here, I gave a background of the membrane softening project and said I'd be here today to talk about the bid results. So that's what we'll do. So I'll quickly talk about the timeline for bidding and the award of the project, a summary of how the construction bids came in, discussion of the funding source, and then open it up to any questions. So first of all, for the timeline, the project advertised for bids. So basically what we do is we put together detailed drawings and specifications that are sent out to bidding contractors that do this type of work. And they have a bidding period. Here was about 2 months, which is pretty typical to look at the drawings, get quotes from subcontractors, put the costs together and all that, and then do a bid opening, which was done actually yesterday, Mike, not Friday. Right?
Time flies.
It does fly. It feels like ages ago, but it was yesterday. And so we got those bids, which I'll discuss in a second. The OWDA board meeting to approve financing for this is at the end of the month. As Mike mentioned, they want to get the financing through in this fiscal year. It makes things easier for them, which should hopefully allow us to give the contractor notice to proceed sometime in July of this year. And then that means that the contractors will have, I believe, 28 months to get the system up and running, which is what we call substantial completion. And then final completion, which is, all the punch out lists are done and, everything is complete and the contract is closed by January of 2029. So that's kind of where we're at schedule-wise. As far as the bids go, as we put together our drawings and specs and before we put them out to bid, we have to come up with an estimate. Our estimate here was $23.797 million. We received 3 bids, one from Building Crafts, one from Pace, and one from Thienemann. All 3 of these are contractors that are located in the area or in the Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky area, and do a lot of work there. And predominantly, at least to my knowledge, do water, wastewater type work. So these are contractors that do this sort of thing. We'd also reached out to other contractors we knew. There was a lot of contractors that were really too busy to bid on it. There's a lot going on in the water, wastewater world these days. So we got 3 bids. The lowest bid was Building Crafts. They were at $23,632,340. Pace was the second low bid. They were at $23,924,000. And then Thieneman was the highest bid, and they were at $25,995,000. So our recommendation, we've reviewed the bids. I've taken the bids after the bid opening, gave them back to Mike here tonight. We did not find any sort of irregularities or omissions or anything like that, so our recommendation is to proceed with the low bid contractor, which is Building Crafts. All 3 of these companies are companies that we work with, I would say routinely. I personally have another project going on with Building Crafts. Yeah, that's what our recommendation is going forward. As far as the funding source goes, as mentioned, this project will be financed through the Ohio WSRLA, which stands for the Water Supply Revolving Loan Account, which is basically federal money that's given to each state, and then the states turn around and loan it out to water and water utilities for WSRLA, and then they take the money that's paid back and reloan that out. So that's why they call it a revolving account. So you guys had received a $2.4 million design loan with principal forgiveness, which means you don't have to pay it off, which is great. And then as far as the construction loan goes, these numbers are estimates, but close. I mean, Building Crafts' final bid number was $23,632,340. In talking with Mike, you guys want to reserve $1 million for construction phase technical services. So these are things like on-site observation, review of shop drawings, requests for information, attendance at construction meetings, that sort of thing. You'll have special inspections for $150,000. That is things like you have to have a geotechnical engineer come out and check the subgrade to make sure that it's suitable before you build on top of it. And then you also have to, the main thing that's going to be spent on is when you pour structural concrete, you have to take test cylinders of concrete. So they take the concrete, put it in a test cylinder, put it in an apparatus after so many days and break it to make sure that it's structurally sound. In the old days, the contractors could pay for that, but building codes require the owners to pay for it now. A contingency for unforeseen issues of 5%, which is $1,239,117. And then the application fee to apply for this loan through the WSRLA, it's a 1.35% cost, which is $351,290. So the total estimated loan amount is $26,372,747. At your next meeting, I believe there will be a resolution for you guys to authorize the city or the city manager to enter into an agreement with WSRLA to take the loan out. So with that, any questions any of you guys have about the project? Yes.
So you said that you were gonna hopefully have the okay to the contractors by July.
Yeah.
After you give that, how soon do you think construction will actually start?
Well, once the city gives notice to proceed, the clock is ticking for the contractor. So once that happens, they have 28 months to get to substantial completion and 30 to final. Usually, it takes between 2 and 3 months for them to mobilize. It kind of depends on how busy they are and when they're starting and when other jobs are
fall.
finishing. So yeah, I would say fall. The construction schedule in general can dictate that too. Sometimes if they're going into fall, they'll want to mobilize early and get as much done as they can before the weather turns. Sometimes they don't. The schedule, with the exception of the final product, is the contractor's prerogative. So it really depends on how they want to get out there. But if I had to estimate, I would say probably September.
Thank
So.
you.
All right, let me take a minute to see if there's anyone from the public who would like to comment on this resolution. All right, seeing none. Any other council questions or discussion? I mean, I think that's, with everything that's going on, I think that's a great bid price, so.
Yeah, we were happy with how they, I mean, water, wastewater projects aren't cheap. But the fact that the bids were as close as they were, we think indicates that there was no real ambiguity between what the contractors were saying and all that, so. And that's kind of the best you can hope for, so.
I did want to mention with some of the expenses outside of the construction contract, such as the application fee and special inspections. I talked with the city manager and finance director, and we want to minimize the amount of money that we borrow. And we do have healthy reserves, not only in our CBC, our capacity benefit fund, but also we have several $100,000 in PFAS settlements that this is a great use for.
Yes.
So we will work to minimize the amount we borrow and use some of this savings that we've achieved over the years. So thank you.
All right, thank you. All right. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Great. We are on our way to a new water treatment plant. All right, Ms. Barber, you may read the next resolution.
A resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with Amano McGann for the purchase of a new entry and exit lane gate system for the city's parking garage at a cost of $26,449.
Motion to adopt.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Vice Mayor Fred, second by Councilor Franklin, and we'll go to Chief Jones.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I hardly feel worthy standing here asking for $26,000. Mike just spent $26 million.
Spend that much money.
Yeah. But this is a resolution to buy a new parking gate system that's been in use since the parking garage was built approximately 25 years ago. This controls access to the leased spaces that the city leases out, and as well as the owned spaces up on the top floor. So it's just failing, and the computer, the computer that's 25 years old needs updated, and we want to use the same vendor that we have there to work with the OHMs and use their card reader system. So this is a small purchase, but because of that, we wanted council approval to do this.
All right. See if there's anyone from the public who would like to address this resolution before council. All right, seeing none. Council questions and discussion? Yeah, I think we got our 25 years out of the old system, so, all right. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Great. Okay, we're moving on to first readings. Ms. Barber, you may read the first reading.
An ordinance amending ordinance number 3844, supplemental budget ordinance number 3, to make supplemental appropriations for fiscal year 2026.
All right, I'll turn it over to Finance Director Reidnar.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and councilors. Tonight's supplemental is needed to budget the revenue and expense in the amount of $25.8 million for the loan and expense for the water plant softening project, as well as the revenue coming in from the OWPA loan. As you heard tonight, some last-minute adjustments came about today, so when we present this ordinance for second reading, there will be some changes to accommodate the application fee and the inspections that are required.
All right. You see if there's anyone from the public that would like to address this ordinance before council? All right, seeing none. Council questions or discussion? I think since we just saw the project, we all understand what it's for, and this is the first reading, so we will see you again in 2 weeks. All right, if you'd like to read the next one, Ms. Barber.
An ordinance authorizing the tax budget for the year 2027 and directing that the same be transmitted to the Butler County Auditor.
All right, we'll come right back to Heidi.
I'm back. The annual tax budget is a preliminary estimate for the preceding year required by the Ohio Revised Code. Each year, we must submit to the county an estimate of what next year will look like. Again, it's just a glimpse. Beginning in August, we will undertake our normal detailed line item budget analysis and preparation. We will spend approximately 3 months of intensive preparation on our detailed budget, and the final approved budget will then be submitted to the County Budget Commission to replace this preliminary estimate.
All right, is there anyone from the public that would like to address this ordinance before council? All right, seeing none. Council questions or discussion? I'll just remind everybody, this is something that the state makes us do every year, so they know how much tax revenue to estimate. Okay, so that's first reading. We'll see that one again in 2 weeks. We'll move on to second readings. Ms. Barber, you may read our only second reading whenever you're ready.
An ordinance to approve current replacement pages to the Oxford Codified Ordinances.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
So moved.
I just wanted to beat Roxanne in a second.
Motion to adopt by Vice Mayor Friend, second by Councilor Snavely. We'll go to Mr. Elliott.
Yes, so I believe Councilmember Amber had asked some questions about the amendments to the statutes. And basically, I provided a Legislative Service Commission report, very detailed report, and I can tell you that the majority, all but 2 of the amendments and additions to our codified ordinance that was given a first reading at our last meeting deal with what they call Avery's Law, which is House Bill 247. It was signed by the governor at the end of 2025. So I did provide council with this Legislative Service Commission final analysis, which probably was a lot more detailed than you wanted. But I hope this provided answers to your questions. That's all I have this evening on that.
All right, let me see if there's anyone from the public that would like to address this ordinance before council. All right, seeing none, any council questions or discussion?
I just want to thank the city manager for providing the information. I think it's important for councilors to know what they're voting on.
All right, Ms. Barber, you may call the roll.
Ms. Franklin?
Yes.
Ms. French?
Yes.
Ms. Ornelas?
Yes.
Mr. Snavely?
Yes.
Mr. Vinch?
Yes.
Mr. Bracken?
Yes.
Mayor Smith?
Yes. All right, that ordinance is adopted. We will move on to announcements and communications, and I'll start with Mr. Elliott.
Thank you. The county commissioners approved the Ambassador's Point Community West annexation petition today. So after 60 days have elapsed, I'll be bringing in an ordinance to consider accepting that annexation. That's the statutory time period that we have to wait in order to adopt an ordinance accepting the annexation. So I just wanted to share that with you. Also, I did provide the City Council information on the Charter Review Commission. We completed our work, and I provided City Council a report, I'll be presenting that to City Council at a later date. Our plan is, therefore, to present it to City Council for a first reading at our July 7th meeting, and a second reading 2 weeks later, July 21st. And if council accepts those recommendations, basically we'll submit it to the Board of Elections. Our deadline is August the 5th with the Board of Elections for the general election in November. And so we'll be talking about those later, but I just wanted to share with you that information. And that's all I have this evening, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Mr. Dreisbach? Chief Jones? Ms. Reinhardt?
I just want to say I had what a wonderful night it was at the One Festival. It was a beautiful day. It was hot. It was hot. I was in Ballpark all day, and I was afraid I was going to miss it, but we had such a good time, and I loved your shirt.
Chief Deathridge? All right. Mr. Perry? Ms. Green?
I'm just going to second Heidi's congratulations to the Chamber of Commerce on a wonderful wine and beer festival. I know it takes a small army to pull off an event like that, and also thanks to the city staff who supported the event. It was truly lovely. And also, just because we have some time tonight, wanted to update you that we did submit the grant for Phase 6 of the Oxford Area Trail from the Oxford Community Park over to the Black Bridge, and now we wait until October. But that was very exciting to get turned in. And just a heads up that at our next meeting, I will be bringing you an update of our council goals, progress to date, and our a review of the research you had us do. So that'll be at our next meeting. Thanks.
All right, thank you. Ms. Barber?
Nothing, thank you.
Ms. Cameron? Yes, sir. Mr. Snavely?
Also, congratulations on the Wine and Craft Beer Festival. I thought it was great. It's a beautiful day and a very big crowd. We got a lot of out-of-town visitors, and I think it's good for our community. Today, I viewed a video put out by our county sheriff. Unfortunately, in part, it indicates his attitude towards immigrants, but it also indicates that he does not know his county very well. At least he doesn't know the northwest corner of his county. Oxford, as was mentioned earlier, is welcoming to all people. It's generally, we believe in a diverse community, an equitable community, and an inclusive community. However, in his video, he claimed that Oxford was a sanctuary city, which is ridiculous. We are not a sanctuary city. And, you know, we're welcoming and we're kind and we like people and we're good to them, but we don't have a serious crime problem in this city. We have people who get along, whether they're Republicans or Democrats or non-aligned. So there's a lot of good things happening in this community. But we are not a sanctuary city, and the sheriff of this county ought to know better. And the fact that he doesn't is shameful, in my opinion. And that is my comment for the day.
All right.
I was irritated.
Nothing for me.
I would echo my congratulations to everybody for Wine Festival. It was a really great day. My maybe not great joke was that Bee Festival had to suffer so that Wine Festival could flourish, and flourish it did. But yeah, it was a really great day. I was talking to Chad, who was helping to volunteer to check people in, and he said by his rough estimate, about 50% of the people that he talked to, it was their first time in Oxford. So what a stunning introduction to our town, which was great. And I also, since Chad's not here, I will give him a shout out. I saw him coaching a Little League team yesterday, and it was really wholesome. I was there to watch a friend's kid play, and then the coach of the opposing team was Chad. And I was like, oh. So congrats to the Astros. They did beat the Reds last night in Little League, and it was very wholesome. And that's all I got.
Thank you for sharing what you shared, Councilor Snavely. I will not address that tonight. This is the first time hearing about it, so I'm feeling a little rattled about being targeted like that as a community. I love Oxford. It's been my home since 2011, you know. And when people told me, I might be happier in Cincinnati because there's more diversity there, I wanted to live close to where I worked, and I chose to live here. And I've had some difficult experiences here. You can speak to other people of color who have as well. But we like to think of those as more isolated incidents, and that this has been a welcoming community. And we will continue to love our neighbors.
Yes.
We will continue to love our neighbors. There's a mural going up on the garage uptown. I sat across there for a little bit and saw the artist Matthew Sharam and had a little time to thank him for his work. And so if you have time, he thinks he'll be done by Thursday if the weather holds up. The wind isn't cooperating very well, but please go by and see it come to life. It's going to be a three-dimensional experience when it's all done if you're standing in the sweet spot. So we're looking forward to that. And then Paco has a meeting it's Monday, right? Is it? And we had 30 submissions for the Amtrak platform mural, that that pathway toward Amtrak. And so we'll be looking at that over the next several days and whittling it down, and hopefully in due time having another mural going up soon. And so I want to thank Ashley and Jessica and everyone who's worked so hard to put this all together, as well as the members of PACO. So there is joy. I think joy is an act of resistance as well, and we should enjoy our lives here through art and through community events like the festival we had over the weekend.
Nothing for me tonight, thank you.
Thank you, Bill and Amber, for your words. I have nothing else. Thank you.
All right, my list also includes Parks and Rec, who were kind enough to invite me to open the pool a couple weeks ago. So the pool is open, the water is warm, it's great. I want to thank the folks from OSH for coming tonight. That will be an important program on the 15th for everybody to sit through. And also going to reiterate the groundbreaking of Clarence Place, our Habitat for Humanity development, on June 9th at 10 a.m. on Chestnut Street. And of course, I too am giving kudos for the Wine Fest. I think that was probably about the nicest Wine Fest day we've had in a long time. I can't wait to see some attendance numbers officially from the chamber. And all I will say to the sheriff is, we would rather have a bigger table than a taller fence in Oxford. So,
Here, here.
Here, here.
I like it.
and with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.
Perfect.
It's fun kidding with you.
Wow.
I think we just attracted attention to Sheriff Jones, which we're trying to avoid, and also,
We may have,
Well,
but
remember,
it's important to say something.
I say it every day on
I
Facebook.
know.
So where was that video at?
Sure,
He
I was
puts
for
out
that,
videos
for
every so often.
debating it.
I see him on
Put it on
Facebook every now
social
and then.
6 months ago.